All right, y'all. Grab a coffee or a blanket, because I'm about to take you on a ride you won't forget. Ever think about how one little choice, like grabbing a Coke instead of a Pepsi or answering a random text, could flip your whole dang life upside down? That's what happened to Jake, a regular guy from small-town Ohio who didn't ask for any of this. One rainy night, one tiny decision, and bam, everything changed. This story's got chills, heart, and a twist that'll leave you shook. Stick with me till the end, and when we're done, drop a comment. What's the smallest choice you ever made that turned your world around? Let's get into it. Jake wasn't anybody special. 28 years old, sandy hair always a mess, living in a nowhere town surrounded by cornfields and rusty barns. He worked at Miller's hardware store, you know, the kind of place where old-timers argue about nails and kids buy spray paint to tag bridges. He drove a beat-up Ford truck that coughed more than it ran, and his big excitement was scrolling Reddit till midnight with a bag of Doritos. Just a dude, living his quiet little life. But then came that Tuesday in October. Rain was coming down like the sky was mad at the world, sheets of it, hammering the roof of his truck as he drove home from work. Windshield wipers were slapping back and forth, barely keeping up. His phone buzzed on the passenger seat, lighting up the dark cab. Jake glanced over. One word on the screen. Help. That's it. No name, no number he knew, just help. Now most folks would have kept driving. Me? I'd probably assume it's some scam. You know, those texts about your Amazon package or whatever. Jake thought the same. His gut said, ain't my problem. But something, maybe the rain making him restless, maybe a flicker of what if, made him pull over to the muddy shoulder. He stared at that word, help, like it was staring back. Then, against every ounce of common sense, he typed, who is this? One small decision. 10 seconds later, his phone lit up again. I'm trapped. Please. 143 Oak Street. Jake's stomach dropped. Oak Street was a rundown stretch on the edge of town. Old houses fallen apart, windows smashed. The kind of place kids dared each other to sneak into on Halloween. 5 minutes from where he sat. His brain kicked into overdrive. This is nuts. Could be a prank. Could be dangerous. But his hands? They were already turning the wheel toward Oak Street. Another little choice, stacking on the first. When he pulled up to 143, it looked worse than he remembered. The house was a skeleton. Peeling paint, roof half caved, like it had been holding its breath for decades. Rain blurred everything, but there was a faint glow flicking through a crack in the boarded-up windows. Jake sat there, gripping the steering wheel, heart thumping like a bass drum. He could leave, drive home, crack a beer and forget this ever happened. But then, God help him, he heard it. A scream. Not loud, not clear, but real. Muffled, like it was fighting to get out. He grabbed the flashlight from his glove box, the cheap kind that flickers if you shake it, and stepped into the rain. Mud sucked at his boots as he crossed the yard. The front door wasn't even locked. It groaned open like it had been waiting for him. Inside, the air was heavy. Dust, rot, and something sour he couldn't place. He called out, voice shaken, "Hello? Anybody here?" Nothing but silence. Then, from below, a whimper. Jake found the basement stairs behind a sagging door. Each step creaked like it might snap, and the flashlight barely cut through the dark. At the bottom, he saw her. A girl, couldn't have been more than 20, tied to a metal chair, wrists red from the ropes, face streaked with dirt and tears. Her eyes locked on him, wide and terrified, and she whispered, "They're coming back." Jake's knees went weak. "Who's they?" he wanted to ask, but there wasn't time. He fumbled with his pocket knife, hands trembling, and cut her free. She grabbed his arm, voice barely there. "We gotta go. Now." Her name was Emily. She didn't say much as they stumbled up the stairs, just clung to him like he was her last lifeline. Outside, the rain hit harder, soaking them both as they ran for the truck. Jake flung the door open, shoved her in, and that's when he saw it. Headlights. A black van peeled around the corner, engine roaring over the storm. "Go, go, go!" Emily screamed. Jake slammed the gas, tires spinning in the mud before they caught traction. What came next was pure chaos. The van chased them, down twisting back roads, over a rickety bridge, through pitch-black fields. Jake's truck rattled like it might fall apart, and Emily kept looking back, muttering, "They're still there." 15 minutes felt like 15 hours. He finally lost them by cutting through an old farm trail, headlights off, praying they wouldn't get stuck. When the coast was clear, he pulled into a gas station lot, hands shaking so bad he could barely hold the wheel. Emily spilled it then, voice cracking like glass. She'd been grabbed 3 days ago, walking home from a diner shift, blindfolded, thrown in that basement. The text? She'd swiped a phone from one of her captors during a slip-up, sent help to a dozen random numbers before they snatched it back. Jake was the only one who answered. "You saved my life," she said, tears mixing with the rain on her face. He didn't know what to say, just drove her to the police station, watched her disappear inside, and went home. You'd think that's the end, right? Hero moment, done and dusted. But life ain't that clean. Next morning, Jake woke up to his doorbell. 2 guys stood there, suits, no badges, faces like stone. "You shouldn't have gotten involved," one said, voice flat as a board. They didn't threaten him, didn't explain, just turned and left. Jake brushed it off as some weird prank. Then it started. Cars he didn't recognize parked across his street at night. His phone rang, unknown numbers, dead silence on the other end. A week later, he found a note under his door, scrawled in black ink. "You saved her. Now save yourself." His quiet little life, gone. He'd poke his head out the window, seeing shadows move where they shouldn't. He stopped sleeping, kept a baseball bat by his bed. Jake told me this part himself. Yeah, I met him once, at a diner far from Ohio. He'd moved, changed his name, ditched the truck. His eyes were hollow, like he'd aged 20 years in months. "I don't regret it," he said, stirring his coffee, "but I didn't sign up for this." Some folks say he stumbled into a trafficking ring. Others whisper it was something darker, a cult, a cover-up, all 'cause he answered a text. That's Jake's story, y'all. One little, "Who is this?" and his whole world unraveled. Makes you wonder, what if he'd kept driving? Would Emily still be in that basement? Would he still be stocking shelves, eating Doritos, living easy? He's out there somewhere now, hiding from shadows, carrying that night like a weight he can't put down. What do you reckon? Was Jake a hero who got screwed? Or just a guy in the wrong place, wrong time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm dying to hear them. And hey, what's your story? That one tiny choice that flipped everything. Tell me. I read every word. If this hit you like it hit me, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Next video, I've got a tale about a mom who found a secret letter in her kid's backpack. Trust me, it's a gut punch. See y'all then.